Sisters, how y'all feel?
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl A.Renee here, and I'm just coming to you guys for episode number 2 of His Story, Her Way. And I know I'm a little late. I know we're supposed to do this whole Sunday thing, but I have a good reason. And all black folks show up to the cookout late, right? But I actually fell under the weather. I had the flu. And this is the second time I'm making the video, because the last time I made the video, I was like determined to get this out to you guys. And then I realized I sound crazy. Nobody wanted to hear me sounding like God knows what, right? So I decided to hold off on the video. But funny enough, our topic for the week is self-care. And I wasn't exhibiting self-care for myself, trying to rush to get that video out. And because we're doing self-care and I'm still a little bit under the weather, I'm like 98% there. This is definitely tea today and not tequila, but it's happy hour somewhere, right? And where do we get started today with this idea of self-care? Because it's just like this huge topic and everybody's talking about, oh, provide yourself self-care. Self-care looks like this. But I'm really out here trying to figure out what does self-care look like, because deep down for me, I don't feel like self-care has a face. I definitely feel like self-care is what we provide ourselves so that we're able to internally flourish. And then by us being able to, like, you know, blossom and become this beautiful flower, then we're able to give or radiate what we are externally and give it to others. And you can have a little bit of this and you can have a little bit of that. But I definitely stand strong in this idea that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And look at my little cup right there, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. So what I want to give to others, I can't give unless I'm able to provide that and then some for myself. So, you know, how I started looking at things, honestly, was that self-care was just my ability to say no. So I'm not saying that I'm a people pleaser, because I'll shut you down in a minute. But I do like being able to help people and being able to say yes and going the extra mile for people. But I realized I was doing things for people and then coming home crashing and burning. I wasn't able to do anything for myself, or like I'd give other people so much of my time that when it came down to reaching my goals and meeting deadlines for certain things like school and work and whatever, I was like bombing. Like, this shit was bad. I was really bombing, and I had to really like just pull back from everybody for a second. Like, oh, can you do this now? Oh, do you mind? No. Oh, my job, do you mind staying late? Hell no. But like, it may sound bad. I used to feel bad, and sometimes I still do. But I'm realizing now it's not about me saying, oh, sorry. Like, I'm not apologizing for it no more. No, I'm not going to be able to make it. Even down to being sick the past couple of days. When I showed back up to work today, actually, I went to the lady who covers my schedule when I'm not there, and I just said thank you for making sure that everything was taken care of for me when I was out. And it's not even necessarily like, oh, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make it. I wasn't making it regardless. And it's okay. It's okay to take a minute when you're not well. It's okay to take a minute, and even not even to say like, oh, I was sick, or like, it's okay to take a minute when you just don't want to be bothered. Like, I'm about to start emailing my boss like, hey, what's up? I just need to let you know I'm not going to be here. If they ask why, my mental health is not okay. Like, and there's such a stigma placed on like mental health that sometimes we feel uncomfortable just to say like, you know what? I need a day. And at this point in the game, if I need to take a day off just to come back with box braids, that was a part of mental health, because looking good is a part of feeling good. And I'm jacking it. I don't care what anybody says. So that's just what it is, right? But I'm just really big on embodying this me first approach. And this me first approach has nothing to do with, you know, not wanting other people to do well, or not working to do well by other people. But it's just saying that in order for me to be enough for you and for you and for you and whoever else that is not on my radar at this moment, I gotta make sure that I'm okay for me, because I have to internally sit with myself. And I just remember looking at these like $2,000 vacations and looking at like expensive designer bags that my budget does not entitle me to, and just saying like, self-care is me taking care of myself. You know what, today I want this bag, I'm going to get this bag. And then going and swiping my card and then looking mad stupid, and the bag is probably sitting in my closet because it only went with one outfit and it didn't really serve a purpose. And that was my self-care ritual. And that's when I realized I'm doing things all wrong, because my actual purpose in self-care was saying, like, you know what, I know y'all going out to turn up tonight, but I just worked an 8-hour shift. I've been working every day this week, and I think I'm just gonna chill in my bed and watch movies. And I used to feel like I was missing out on something. But like with that ritual, you're with that ritual, my family may come home and open the door at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday when I'm usually like turned up and lit, and see that I'm like face mask, watching a movie, watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hey, Portia. Watching Real Housewives of Atlanta and just chilling, because that's what I felt necessary for myself. And that's the purpose of self-care. Self-care is all about doing what's best for you. And it doesn't have to be a specific thing or a specific thing that you want to do or something that's super lavish. It can simply be just having a cup of tea, reading a book, right? Or diving into something that you find to be interesting that you don't have the time for on the usual, allotting yourself the time for that. Like at a certain point, I started to realize for myself that self-care was me actually using these planners, right? So I go to like TJ Maxx, I go to Marshalls and Staples, and I look at all these beautiful agendas, right? 2019. Hell, I'm already starting to look at 2020 agendas. I don't know what I'm putting in it yet, but it's going to be big things. It's going to be big things for all of us, right? And I go and I buy these things, and I'm like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. Oh, I'm lucky it's not even there. I go and I start buying these agendas, and I'm like, I'm going to mark up my whole calendar for the things that I want to do. And at first I was just playing with it. I do January, then I go back, I do June, and then before I realize it, it's in the trunk, and we're in a whole new year. But now I'm faithful to it. Like, I'm talking, if there's an event that I want to go to, even if I'm not going to actually make it, I'm still putting it there just as a reminder to myself. That's a part of my self-care, because for me personally, I become very overwhelmed when things aren't in order, and then I start putting pressure on myself. So a part of my self-care is making sure that I don't put that type of pressure on myself, because I know what stress looks like on me. And honey, it's like edge snatching. It's lace front pushed all the way back. It's not cute. And it's really about finding what's best for you. You know, I'm always super big on whatever it is that works for me. Maybe it works for somebody else. But at this point, whatever's big for y'all that works for you guys got to tell me and give me the tea, because there are things that I know that I'm definitely missing out on. And that's what I appreciate about loving on women the way that I do, and the way that I encourage everybody to do, because that's when you start to realize like how many gems other people have that you need in your life, and how relevant everybody is to the same conversation, because deep down we all got different stories, but we be going through the same things, and they're not always pretty. The things that we go through are not always pretty, and her story may look different from your story, but everybody's going through something, and everybody got something to share. So if you're not sharing your story and your truth with somebody else to spread that gem, to help them uplift themselves, to, you know, manifest a more positive life, so that their self-care is more together, and their mental and their morale is there, so that they're ready to dream and to flow to the next dimension of whatever. But like, if you're not doing that, then you're kind of a part of the issue, because you're damn sure not a part of the solution. So, but that's my thing. That's what I want this to continue to always be about. Not that one of us has all the answers, but that we're able to share the answers and share the knowledge and make things a community, because that's how we uplift one another. Like, it's the simplest thing as walking past a sister and saying hi, a complete stranger and saying hi. Like, because when people do that to me, I walk away and I think about that person like, yeah, I don't know her name. She stopped and she said hi to me, and you know what? I was really going through some shit that day. Like, those things count. It all plays a part. You don't even realize that incorporating like little kind words into your everyday moves, what that does for you. Like, hell, I don't care. I'm putting that as a part of self-care. Y'all can't tell me no. So I just want to thank you guys for rocking with me. Episode number 2, His Story, Her Way, and I'm out. Peace.
And I said what I said.